Hello, I'm Leonard Stevens, and I'm here today. We're having a news special. I'm talking to Peggy Moore. Peggy Moore is running for City Council seat at large.
Yes.
So first, Peggy, can you let the community know, because a lot of them don't know what the at large, what does that mean?
Absolutely. So the at-large seat is the one seat on the council that actually covers the whole city. It carries the same geographic area as the mayor does. So, but you're not the mayor, nor are you the individual council members per district. You actually cover the whole city.
Okay, by coverage of the whole city, does that mean that you're responsible for judicial, or is it social, or what type of coverage are we talking about?
Well, I think you're in partnership. So most residents go directly to their council member first. So if you're in District 7, most people go to Larry Reed. I think that what the at-large seat do, for me, I envision that it is one that is in partnership with each council member, but also carry the narrative for the whole city on behalf of the council.
I see.
Yeah.
So currently in that position is Rebecca Kaplan, and she's been in there for 2 terms.
Yes.
And this is the end of her 2nd term. So that's 8 years.
That's 8 years, yes, absolutely.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So can you tell the audience what difference that you'll make once you're elected to office?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I really think it's just a matter of style. I think that we are pretty solid in terms of a lot of the issues that are impacting our community and how we would address them. But I think the one piece that's been missing for this is just a simple opportunity to engage the whole community. I mean, I think after 8 years, I think that, you know, folks are, we would be like, how many community meetings have we had? How many cleanups have we led? I think it's one thing to pass policy, but it's a different thing to actually be engaged with the community. Because we've passed a lot of policy, but yet still the streets are terrible and our children are walking.
So you mentioned an issue, the streets. Is that one of your core objectives that you've targeted in order to try to help out the city with this position?
Yeah, I think it's a variety of things. I think first of all, for me to be fully engaged in the community, I want people to see me. I want to have a presence with the community. I want to be able to hear what their concerns are. What I've learned is blight is an issue. People don't feel like people are paying attention to their neighborhoods. You know, police are an issue, but often people just don't know where to go to express their concerns. And so instead of us waiting for the council, for the community to come to council, I think it's important for the council to go to the community.
So you plan to be more hands-on?
Definitely hands-on. I don't know any other way to do it.
I see.
But I'm also balanced in terms of being practical about how we pass legislation and what we do with that, and also create a partnership with the city manager and the mayor so we can make sure that the items that we do pass get implemented.
Okay, can you tell the audience what qualifications you bring to the table to make you the appropriate choice?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm an organizer to the core of my soul. I've always been an advocate for the issues that are important to our community. I've supported, you know, seniors who've been displaced and are going into senior centers. I've advocated for them to make sure they have safe places to move into. I've also advocated on behalf of healthcare, with health access. And I did that way before there was such a thing as Obamacare, because our folks were not getting access and we were having, you know, a lot of health issues. And preventive health, I think, was very important. But, you know, I also believe in restorative justice. And I believe that what this city needs is an opportunity for us to actually come together as a whole community and create a way for us to deal with conflict so that we can actually move forward. But I worked on Obama's campaign from 2008 all the way through 2012.
You also was the chief of staff for our mayor.
Yeah,
mayor.
absolutely. So I ran Mayor Schaaf's race, as well as I was her senior advisor for Mayor Schaaf, which I actually saw a lot, learned a lot, and actually that just added on to my inspiration of being able to run for this particular seat.
So what inspired you to want to be in this political arena?
Oh, you know, it's funny. People ask me that all the time. And, you know, how did you get into politics? And I always say, well, politics got into me.
I see.
You know, I started in Oakland. I worked actually at Home Depot here in Oakland. I actually was in the Daly City store, but I opened up the Emeryville and the El Cerrito store. And that's how I really began to get engaged in the community. And it was an employee. So, you know, I'm pretty good at hiring good talent and really seeing the talent that was happening within the African American community, and really was a bridge builder there.
So how would that experience that you have make you a good choice for the at-large seat? Because as you mentioned, to be responsible for the entire city of Oakland and not just the district, that's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I mean, come on, let's talk about what the job really is. I mean, the job is really about engaging and making sure that your community feels heard and that you actually can begin to make change and policy that's going to impact their lives. You can't do that if you're not engaged in the process. And so in my work experience, and this is an opportunity to do a transferable skill set, you know, I've taken on many projects, I've been successful in those projects. You've got to be able to sit at the table with people when they're in conflict. I've had a lot of opportunities to be able to do that. Even most recently at the Democratic Convention, I had a chance to go, and I was selected to be the captain whip for the state of California.
What does that mean?
So you go to the convention, you have every state that is there, and California is the largest delegation. So we had 551 people there. So just imagine, 551 people that I had to manage at the convention that represents the state of California. In our delegation, we had 221 people who were Bernie people, and I had another 330 that were Hillary people, and I had to be able to bring all those folks together. And let me tell you,
That sounds like conflict management.
it really was.
Okay.
But we created a space where we can come together where both sides can have their voices and that we can be respectful for each other. And there were moments where it was pretty painful, but overall, we were successful through those 4 days.
I see. I mean, that's important to be able to follow through. So how do you plan to measure your success?
You know, that's a really, really great question. I think what I envision doing is working with the community, and I want us to be able to see, like, what are the two or three things collectively we want to do? Because what is important to the community and what their needs are. And I think that we will start with some small steps of success, but I still think I want to engage the community a little bit more to figure out what those things are. Restorative justice is huge for me. I want to be able to create ambassadors across the city. So that will be one of the first things that I will do. But you must keep in mind, as soon as you walk into this next round, it's the budget. So the budget is going to be the biggest thing that we'll be working on first. And, you know, I look forward to really digging in because where you spend your money is where your priorities are.
Correct me if I'm wrong. History can be made if you're elected. You would be the first African-American woman to ever hold a political seat for the City Council of Oakland.
Well, not the first political seat, but for the first at-large seat.
At-large seat.
So the
Thank
first citywide representative. We haven't had an African-American to hold a citywide seat at this time. So we haven't had a first African-American mayor yet, so I'm looking forward for that. And this seat has been held by Frank Ogawa, Henry Chang, and then Rebecca Kaplan. And so I would be the first African-American woman to hold a citywide seat.
Citywide seat.
Yeah, that will have a lot of influence.
All right.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate talking to you.
Yeah.
I know that there's 4 other candidates, because we mentioned Rebecca is one.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the other candidates?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we have ranked choice, so that's very important to keep in mind. We definitely have the incumbent Rebecca Kaplan. We have a gentleman by the name of Bruce Kwan, who's born and raised here, civil rights attorney and family, helped really build Chinatown. We have a woman by the name of Nancy Sidebottom, who's been in our community for a long time, who's really a gritty organizer, and so she's actually playing full out in this election as well. And then there's a gentleman by the name of Matt Humble, who actually is the chair of the Cannabis Regulatory Board that we have here in the city of Oakland.
So now I think there's 2 things. First, I want you to explain to the rest of the audience what ranked choice means. I know what it means. That's important for them to understand. And then I want you to look right into that camera, and I want you to tell the city of Oakland why you should be the choice for the at-large seat.
Okay, absolutely. So number one, in terms of ranked choice, it gives our community an opportunity, because what happens, we have people who have similar politics, because we're a very progressive city. You know, so what happens is that, like, you like 2 people, 3 people, you can say, well, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice. So it just allows you to be able to get 3 people. It becomes an average, because that way you actually are selecting someone that has a good average balance across the whole
weight.
city.
Second and third choices carry weight.
Absolutely,
I see.
absolutely.
All right.
So I encourage people to not only vote for somebody number 1, but 2 and 3, because that will actually carry over.
All right, so if I asked you, you would say vote for Peggy, vote for Peggy, vote for Peggy.
Well, I would say not only vote for Peggy, but vote for more for Oakland.
Right.
Because I think that's what I will be able to deliver.
Great, great. So let the audience know why you should be the choice.
Yes. Well, hello. My name is Peggy Moore, and I'm so excited to be a candidate for City Council at large. I've been organizing this community for over 25 years. There are 3 things that are important to me, which is affordability, which means not only to live here, but also to work here. And I believe that that's going to help us keep our essence as we know of Oakland. I also believe the relationship between the community and police is past due for healing. And so that is something I will definitely pay close attention to, particularly while we're in the middle of a major change. And we do have an oversight commission that I will be supporting in this next November's election. But number three, I believe the engagement and the connection to all of us as a whole community is so important. And this is why I support restorative justice. So I'm a leader who's going to engage and get our community involved. I see us, I know that we are great. I want us to be able to do good things from our highest power. We are a great community. There's a lot of good stuff that is going on. And the more that we see that, the more that we rise, the much better it's going to be, not only for us, for our children, and for our future in the city of Oakland.
Did you feel the passion? I certainly did. So our TV is supporting Peggy Moore for the City Council, seat at large. Go vote.
Ow, she's a brick house. She's nice.